As you have probably already noticed, over the past week, the Russian army has begun launching missile strikes not only on the military and energy facilities of Ukraine, but also on the railway transport infrastructure of this Eastern European country. In the last 5-6 days alone, Russian ballistic and cruise missiles, along with kamikaze drones, have destroyed railway stations and military trains in such Ukrainian regions as Dnepropetrovsk, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, and Cherkasy. Moreover, on April 26, 2024, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially announced that missile forces, together with aircraft of operational tactical aviation, destroyed an enemy military train near the settlement of Balaka in the Kharkiv region. It is reliably known that this military train transported heavy military equipment from NATO countries. These were mainly artillery installations and infantry fighting vehicles. This NATO military cargo was intended for the 67th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. In addition, dozens of foreign mercenaries and Ukrainian militants were also on this destroyed military train. According to preliminary data, as a result of this missile attack, not only Western heavy military equipment was destroyed, but also about 50 militants. Commenting on this attack, the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, Oleg Senegyubov, confirmed that in the Balaka area, Russian Iskander-M ballistic missiles destroyed the railway tracks on the branch, leading from Kharkiv to Donbass. According to him, Russian missiles struck just 15 meters from the train carrying Ukrainian soldiers. Unfortunately, there are casualties among our soldiers. The technical buildings and the railway station itself have been completely destroyed, the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration Oleg Senegyubov said. Alexander Lebedev, coordinator of the Ukrainian Underground, provided more detailed information about the missile attack on the Balaka railway station in the Kharkiv region. According to him, Russian ballistic missiles hit the Balaka railway station at 4 p.m. Moscow time. Moreover, the missile strike was carried out at the very moment when military cargo and soldiers were being unloaded at this railway station. Sergei Lebedev also noted that the Ukrainian and NATO military, for security purposes, have increasingly begun to use civilian trains to transport personnel. However, as we can see, these precautions do not help NATO and the armed forces of Ukraine to avoid accurate hits by Russian missiles. Meanwhile, on April 26, 2024, in the southwest of Kyiv, Ukrainian partisans derailed another NATO military train carrying tens of thousands of 155mm artillery shells, intended for the Ukrainian army. At the same time, it is worth noting that the NATO military, for security purposes, used an ordinary freight train to transport valuable military cargo. However, judging by the losses of NATO forces in Ukraine, it becomes clear that it is very difficult to deceive Russian military intelligence. At the moment, the Security Service of Ukraine has announced an interception plan in the Kyiv region, in the hope of catching Ukrainian partisans who continue to harm the armed forces of Ukraine and NATO with their actions of sabotage. At the same time, it is worth noting that even pro-government Ukrainian Telegram channels recognize the sharply increased number of Ukrainian partisans, who, by their actions, in every possible way help the Russian army in implementing its new tactics to destroy the railway infrastructure of Ukraine. By the way, this tactic has already yielded results. As it turned out, the Ukrainian army and NATO forces have already lost the opportunity to use railway logistics in the above-mentioned Ukrainian regions, as a result of which some units of the armed forces of Ukraine, located on the line of combat contact, were left without food, weapons, and fresh reserves.